Okay, so originally my YouTube channel was known as Anime Xillia. Why? Well, because the Tales of Xillia games are my favourite games to play of all time. Because the characters within them are just amazing, and I love the story behind the games. So I thought it's high time I actually rank the characters from the franchise and give you my thoughts and opinions on each one. Now, of course, we've got some categories here to put them into. We've got love them, they're great, okay, I don't like you, and who? We've also got Chronos. I'll explain more when we get to him. So, we got Agria. And you know what? I love her. Her design is one of my favourite designs within all of Tales games. I just really like it. It's not overly complicated and it's not too simple. The colours scheme, the aesthetic, the visuals, all look superb. The weapon just looks amazing too. And the attack animations they gave the character I thought was just excellent. Her storyline, her involvement I thought were great too. So all round I think she's one of my favourite characters from the Xillia games in total. Next up we got Alvin, and I'm going to put him in great. The reason being is Alvin is a character that always kept you guessing in the first game of Xillia, and over that game and into Xillia 2 you really understand and learn more about Alvin, and his character gets so much more fleshed out to the point where you actually start really liking the character, and he is pretty cool as well, we have to admit that. And next up we've got who? Because I don't remember the spirit, and that's going to be the same for quite a few of the spirits, because you normally fight them, beat them, and then off you go, on to the next one. Next up we've got the CEO of the company that Luger and his brother works in. Not really a great character, but not really a terrible character. He reminds me of Archer from Fate Stay Night. Next up we've got another spirit, and I'm really sorry but I just couldn't remember her name. Next up, we've got I don't like you. Chronos. Now, the reason why I gave this guy an extra category is because he annoyed the ever-loving poo out of me. I absolutely hated this boss fight. The fact that it restarted, it triggered me a lot, and it took me so many attempts to play. Now, the character himself, I actually really like the design. I really do like the character, but at the same time I hate him so much because of that boss fight at the end. And of course what follows afterwards. So I gave him his own category because I couldn't decide if I love him, which I do, but at the same time I hate him. So he gets his own little special place. And next up we've got, I think, Jude's father. And I don't really like him. I never really kind of vibed with him. We didn't get much time with the character. We did get a little bit of story between himself and Jude, but at the same time it wasn't enough for me to actually remember what that was all about. And again, not really a plausible character. This character on the other hand, I feel like if I'm remembering correctly, she is a friend of Jude's. Or I might be incorrect. Anyway, I think she's okay. I love her design. It's great, but I actually can't remember from memory her involvement, so I can't put her any higher, unfortunately. Ifrit. I really like Ifrit's design, and is actually one of the 4 great spirits that I remembered when making this tier list. Next up, we got Elise, and I love her character. Her development throughout the games I thought was amazing. The character herself, brilliant. Her going from being really shy and timid to someone who's wanting and actively trying to help other people, and just showcasing the level of maturity she does by the end of the series was just phenomenal. And she's got some great skits too. Next up, we've got another, I love him, and that's Elle. This character was such a bundle of joy when playing Xillia 2. She is, with Luger, my favourite character throughout the entirety of the Tales franchise. And yeah, those ending skits where it's like, help, friendship, or friendship pose, or easy peasy, are you copying me? Those things just made the game so much more enjoyable, and they all came from L. So, yeah, 2 E's and 2 L's. Next up, we've got Gaius, and he's great. Love his design. I think the character being an antagonist to start with was a good choice for him, and even in Xillia 2, he didn't have a massive role to play, but he still felt somewhat important, so I like that. Next up, I don't remember you. You look cool, but I don't remember you. We got another Grey Spirit, and I'm going to put him at the bottom of okay. Design-wise, he looks like he belongs in Great Nature from Vanguard, not in a Tales game, but yeah. This woman, I can't rack my brain as to who she is. I could look it up, but at the same time, that defeats the object of this. So, yeah, I want to remember, but I just can't. Ivar. Ivar's going in okay. Ivar made me laugh quite a lot, and he's just lovable and dumb at the same time. But at the same time, he's a character you love, but at the same time, you don't want to see too much of. Judo, is that his name? I can't read it from here, it's quite small. But I didn't like him that much. When they revealed that he was the one who was kind of holding at least sort of captive, being guardian, I think they kind of resolved his character a little bit, but at the same time, I just never really found that, oh, you know what, he's redeemed. I liked him. So, I don't like you. Sorry. Not as much as the others though, so you go at the top. Jude. I thought Jude was great. He's not gonna be up there in terms of my favourite characters, because whenever I played Xillia, I was always Mila. Jude was a great healer, so that really gave him good bonus points for me. Him just acting as his healer that just healed my team constantly was a positive. His involvement in the story and his development and his progress was what made him shine a lot more, even more as well. I love his kind-hearted and helpful nature, and the way that kind of blends with Mila as a protagonist as well. I thought that went excellently. But there just wasn't that I love him sort of spark. There was nothing that made me go, yes, I need this character all the time within every Tales game. So, Jude, you're great. I like you. So I'm going to put you there. Next up, we've got Julius. Now, Julius is an odd character. He has some weird motivations, but at the same time, Luger was always at the center of it. It was always kindness and love for his brother, and not really wanting that. If I'm remembering it correctly, it's been a while, but I feel like that's the kind of central thing about it. And I like the character design. I like what they did with him. That opening cutscene of the game where you're both in Chronos and you're fighting each other just really hyped me up for what's to come in the future in terms of fights and cutscenes. So I'm putting you at great. Next up, we've got I'll put her at the bottom of great. She didn't do anything. She is Elle's mother, and of course Luger's future wife. Now, she's great because she gave us Elle, but she didn't do anything, really. So, it's kind of like a personal choice to put her in great, because of what she gave us in the future. Next up, we've got a character that I'm going to put in okay, and people are going to be upset with me for. Because she did get some good development. She got some good fleshed out time for her character to kind of showcase what she's done, how she evolves. But at the same time, I really didn't feel much of a connection or need to have Lila around. And at the start she was quite annoying, quite clingy. But I like the fact she broke away from that. Luger! Of course, my favourite character of all of Tales series. He's going up there. I love him. No homo. Okay, now I think I've just remembered who she is. This one here. This one here, I think, is actually the person that is like the princess that Rowan kind of serves. And she takes in Elise partway through. I think that's who I'm thinking about. If I'm right, let me know. If I'm wrong, let me know as well. Next up, we got Maxwell. Sorry, I remember the name Maxwell, but I don't remember who you are specifically, if I fought you or if I didn't fight you. But yeah. Alternative Mila. Alternative Mila is what I'm referring to as Tales of Xillia 2 Mila, in where you go to the Fracture Dimension and you kind of get your Mila, who's, I think, wearing a blue outfit for the majority of the game, but at the same time, she's the one who you travel with in Xillia 2, so she's not the main protagonist from the first one. She's okay. I don't remember much of that Mila, but Mila Maxwell from Xillia 1 is great. She really is. She's a really well developed and well kind of presented protagonist in the form of, with the Great Spirits, she could do a lot of things. Without them, throughout the game, she's learning how to do things on her own. She's learning and progressing in terms of finding her own feet and learning about what she wants to do and, of course, how to do that. Her character went through such a drastic change at the start from what she was used to. She had quite a big culture shock. She always had the four great spirits to do things. I remember one of the cutscenes or skits with her where she said that she couldn't boil water without burning it. So that was always Oudeen's job, is to make sure she didn't burn the water. So, you know, things like that helped make Mila more enjoyable and more human, even though she's this kind of worshipped Maxwell. Next up we got Musee, and I like Musee. Musee is not as great as Alvin, but she's still pretty great as a character herself, so putting her there. I have put Mila Maxwell in this list twice, I've just realised, but at the same time, they're both good in the same place. I kind of remember you, but I don't. This girl. I'm putting her in I Love Her simply because all of those moments where she would phone you to get money from you or to say you paid your loan, they made me laugh so much. They made that kind of whole process of getting all that gold to paying back that debt you owe that much more enjoyable and that much more kind of rewarding. Like, she takes on voice roles, she changes her tone, she tries to make you laugh and make humor out of a dismal situation. You're in debt by like millions upon millions, but she's making it more enjoyable to pay it back, and in turn she's making me want to play the game more, so I see what she's going to give us next in terms of a reward or in terms of a comedy skit. The original, I don't remember you, sorry. Next up we got the cat girl, and she's a cat girl with a gun. No, with a magical book. Now, when I was making this list, I thought she was budget Rinwell. Like, because she's a mage with a book. But that's a bit harsh. She's just okay. And next up, we got this douchebag. Now, again, I just don't like him. But at the same time, I'm glad he gives you that debt. And I'm glad he does heal you. Rolo. Love him. Funny little cat. I'm more of a cat person than a dog person. But yeah, Rolo, you're great. That trio right there, Luger, Elle and Rolo, best trio in all of gaming. Yeah. Shaky, but I'm sticking with it. Next up we got Rowan. Rowan. Yeah, he's okay. Not my favourite. Not great, not bad, not terrible. Just Rowan. Next we've got Oudeen. And I did remember Sylth even. I remembered Sylth's name at least, just not what she looked like. So great. Tipo. Tipo's great. Yeah, Tipo's great. Do I need to explain why? He's Tipo. Next up we actually have Oudeen. And I like Oudeen's design more than Sylth's, so I'm keeping Oudeen This one is another co-worker at the same corporation that that Luger and Julius works at. Why did I miss? I could just read it. Yeah, she was okay. There's nothing inherently kind of bad about her character. Nothing really standoutish either. Her design is average, so I'm putting that under Oudeen. I almost called him Joker then. Yeah, anyway, he's the alternative Luger. I'm putting him in okay, but there. Design-wise, it's decent. I like the story behind him. I like the fact that they implied that he killed all of his friends, and it was just a mess when he was there. But at the same time, the character felt like he had no choice. And he's El's father. / future Luger, but they're still different. Multiverse. Next up, we got Wingull. And instead of being a Pokemon with white wings, he's a swordsman with black wings and white hair. He's great. I like the design a lot. I like the story implications and how he kind of fitted in with that. And yeah, it was a bugger to fight, but at the same time, it was a fun fight. And then we got this guy who is okay. Again, he helped you out in like this wyvern city, like caverns, if I'm correct. He also looks after Alvin's mother, sick mother, after the events, I think. So yeah, he was alright. So there you have it. Hopefully you enjoyed my thoughts and opinions on these amazing characters. Let me know your favourite characters from the Tales of Xillia games. 1 and 2, whichever one you want. Other than that though, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you did, hit that like button, subscribe for more Tales of content in the future, and I'll be seeing you next time. Have a great day. Alligator, Martinet. Goodbye.